Hello and hi everyone, we are from group 4. This is the name of all members in this group, which is Luciana Naksanabong, Nevis Tila Servin Julius, Maclean Matulin, Marcela Yolison, Mashida binti Marahiri, and Mashita binti Muhammad Hamdi. Today we would like to present about Belt and Road Initiative in Laos. So let's get started. Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Mashita binti Muhammad Hamdi. I'm going to present for the introduction. As information, Laos is a nation in Southeast Asia with the youngest population and the lowest population density. Also, Laos was a Southeast Asia country to collaborate with China on infrastructure, especially long before the Belt and Road Initiative, which is the BRI, has been created in 2013. So since then, the BRI has been warmly received in Laos. So this is the sixth article that related to the BRI and laws that our group chose to discuss. First is examine the economic and social effect, low PTR's perception and strategies, the comparison of business environment, interconnected helping the Chinese needs, embrace of China's the BRI, and last but not least, improve water management. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hello, my name is McLean. So for the next part, I'm going to present the literature. There are three components highlights on the research. First of all is the role of China and Laos in BRI. China is utilizing BRI to expand its regional influence, and Laos play a crucial role by connecting China to Southeast Asian nations through the construction of a railway. Laos can benefit from these investments but must prioritize human resource development and stable economic climate to attract investment. China is currently the largest investor and aid donor in Laos. Highlighting its significant role in the BRI in Laos, the Laos government views BRI as a tool to promote its land link strategy. However, Laos must analyze market demand and diversify exports to avoid debt trap and benefit fully from the initiative. Second is the infrastructure and development and investment. Laos needs investment and improvement in its weak infrastructure, making it receptive to China's Belt and Road Initiative. According to studies, Laos has a significant infrastructure deficit and a goal to transition from landlocked and to land-link, making it a key player in the BRI. Education, tourism, and foreign direct investment are the main drivers of socio-economic benefits, whereas employment and living standards are not. This highlights the importance of infrastructure development and investment for socio-economic benefit in Laos. Last but not least is the motivations behind Laos engagement with BRI. Laos engagement with the Belt and Road Initiative is driven by several motivations, including economic development and transformation from a landlocked to a land-linked country. By participating in the BRI, Laos aims to improve infrastructure connectivity and attract foreign investment, which will boost economic growth and reduce poverty. The BRI also offers a chance to access new markets and develop infrastructure, as well as reduce dependence on a single neighbor, China. Additionally, Laos sees the BRI as a way to promote regional stability and security by reducing poverty and promoting social stability, which will contribute to peace and security in the region. Despite its caution with debt, Laos has been a member of the BRI since its inception and has signed agreement with China for infrastructure project. Overall, Laos engagement with the BRI is driven by a combination of economic, political, and strategic considerations. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Levi's Deleze Julius and I'm going to explain about the methods. Based on the article that we have chosen, there are 4 out of 6 articles that do not mention methodology in the article research. The other 2 articles that do have methodology are listed below. First and foremost, examine the economic and social effects on Lao people. Perceived benefit attitudes towards BRI, which is sample, measurement, and data collection. Next, the comparison of business environment in development zones, a study of the China-Laos economic corridor, which is indexes and assessment method and data collection.
Hello everyone, my name is Luciana Naksanabong, number metric BB2110348. Today I'm going to present about issue BRI in Laos. The first issue is examine the economic and social effect on Laos people perceived benefit attitude toward BRI. This analysis was carried out to answer the objective, which is to assess the level of awareness of the people of Laos toward the BRI of the good of their country. Not only that, but this analysis also divides two groups that cover region in Laos. The first group region is the capital region of Vientiane, Luang Prabang, Luang Nata, and Bokyo in the BRI project, while the second group consists of 13 regions outside the area BRI development. Through the division of region, the results show that differences are not found between the two groups regarding the effect of FDI, tourism, living standard, and employment, as well as education on the benefit obtained through BRI. The second issue is low PDR perception and strategy toward China Belt and Road Initiative. The two parties from Laos and China decide to accelerate in connecting China BRI and the 13th five-year plan with Laos, which is land-related transition, and the 8th five-year plan strategy. With that, these two parties have decided to formulate and implement this plan together in advising the BRI as well as making concerted effort to promote production, capacity, and cooperation through investment. Not only that, these two countries want to bring technological and economic cooperation plan into the cooperation they agree upon. Regarding the BRI and the idea of the community with a fragmented future for humanity, China and Laos have a high degree of consensus and cooperation space. The building of the China-Laos Railway is viewed in both texts as a test project to link China and Laos and encourage all-encompassing collaboration. Its full opening is strategically significant for advising China and Laos cooperation. The third issue is Laos and the Belt and Road Initiative. The survey findings indicate that 45.4% of participants believe China will become a revisionist power with an ambition to convert Southeast Asia into its sphere of influence. China will remain a status quo power and continue to maintain the present regional orders. Compared to Laos, 31%, 47% of respondents believe that BRI will push ASEAN member nations closer to China orbit. The majority, 75.9% of Laos experts who gave a response state that it will help regional economic development and boost ASEAN-China relations. The next issue is Laos' enthusiastic embrace of China Belt and Road Initiative. The evolution of China and Laos' asymmetrical power relation is look at how Laos has increasingly adopted a pragmatic stance, downplaying its concern about China expanding influence while appealing to Beijing might for economic and other benefits. This is due to the enormous power disparity with China and external development. Explain the LPRP source of power and its road to national dominance. It examined how these channels have influenced the region's major foreign and developmental initiatives, including partnership for externality funded projects like China BRI. The LRP aimed to transform Laos into a land-linked nation is credited in the including section for Laos' enthusiastic support of BRI-related initiatives. The last issue is improved water management is central to solving the water, energy, food dilemma in Laos PDR. Evaluate low PDR water, energy, and food problem in the context of a policy change toward more environmentally friendly green development and much higher infrastructure spending brought on by China Belt and Road Initiative. With the BRI, the nation has the chance to overcome its infrastructure gap and transition from a landlocked to a land-linked nation. To prevent additional environmental deterioration and harm to community, future investment must be made with utmost caution. a requirement more equitable and sustainable development is an integrated nexus strategy with improved water management at its core. Thank you, that's all from me.
So now we're going to challenges of Laos in achieving national development. The first challenge is the financial aspect. Laos is one of the poorest countries and the only landlocked country in Southeast Asia. This caused Laos to accept China BRI and cooperate to continuing the North-South Rail Project, which is the construction of the Standard Gauge Railway. In October 2012, the Laos National Assembly approved a rail project in which the LPRP government proposed to borrow US 68 billion from the Export-Import Bank of China. This happened because the high cost is caused by technical problems. After all, terrain in the north of Laos is mountainous, and there are many rivers, valleys. As such, Laos faces concern over the twin problems of uncontrolled budget deficit and high debt. This issue gives rise to the possibility of macroeconomic instability. Furthermore, an increase in Laos loans, particularly with China, poses a challenge in the terms of the debt problems. This happens to the country development and make it difficult for them to repay the loan. In 2015, accumulated public debt was recorded at around 66% of GDP, which is an increase from 62.5% in 2013. Therefore, according to the IMF report, almost 65% of the total foreign debt in Laos is owed to bilateral lenders, especially China. This has resulted in country fiscal space for future loans getting smaller, thus with increasing public debt. Laos continues to borrow more money from development partners to finance its large infrastructure project. For example, the total investment cost of the China-Laos Rail Project is more than 30% of the country's annual GDP. This issue has caused the International Monetary Fund (IMF) to warn that the cost of the rail project is increasing pressure on Laos' external debt, and the issue is forcing the country to obtain more loans to pay interest and principal and finance other infrastructure projects. Next, the challenges of Laos is geographical and socio-economics. Position become a factor in the decision to accept China BRI and continue the Botan Mohan Railway project. Therefore, in the implementation of this project, many parties are worried because it will create long-term risk of debt and dependence. In addition to railways, Laos and China also cooperate on special economic zones like hydropower project, agriculture, and mining, with a cost of 68 billion US dollar, which is half the GDP of Laos in 2015. This China-backed railway is the most expensive project in Laos. This project is not opposed by Laos because they do not want to miss the opportunity to benefit in the long term, even though they are facing high risk. Therefore, although Laos has tried to get opportunities to improve its economic system, the country's geography and poor infrastructure have affected its economic activities. The situation has made it difficult for Laos to compete with other products in international market because the high cost of transportation make Laos goods expensive. As a result, the demand for Lao goods decreased in the market. This survey also found that logistic costs in Laos are twice as high as in the other ASEAN countries. Although major highways have been paved in recent years, most of the country is still accessible only by unpaved routes. The problems of a road network that lacks maintenance is a result of limited funds. In addition, Laos also depends a lot on neighboring countries, especially Thailand, for post service. In connection with that, the construction of the Vientiane Con Minh Railway, which is the first modern railway lines in Laos and will eventually reach to Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore, is done by Laos so that this rail connection can help the government achieve its dream all along of becoming a land bridge for this region. Laos also wants to improve its infrastructure to better connect with the rest of the region and speed up the process of economic development. However, the construction of this railway requires more than 4,400 families from 167 villages in 13 districts to leave their homes to make way for development. The development of this project has affected more than 3,830 hectares of land and 3,346 buildings. This causes the villagers to feel worried because the compensation offered by government is not on line with the true value of the property. The total compensation value of project is estimated at around 297.73 million US dollars. But due to financial problems, as of the summer of 2020, many villages have not yet received the compensation they deserve. Furthermore, the workers are determined by the challenge to Laos powers. Laos strives to ensure that the labor employed to work in the construction of this railway generates as many jobs as possible for the people of Laos in order to reduce the problems of unemployment and poverty as well as change the pattern of economics. Unfortunately, China uses its own labor force and says that Laos people do not have skills needed by railway construction companies. Therefore, by December 2018, a total of 17,115 Chinese imported workers had been used for the construction of railways, tunnels, and other needs. As for Laos, only 4,032 workers were hired to work on the project, and the rest were predominantly Chinese national. This causes problems for Laos in China. And the last but not least, Laos also faces challenges in producing a skilled workforce that can be used as a model to respond to the needs of rail operation and service. This happened because there is a concern in Laos about the railway, which will put greater economic pressure on the domestic industry by opening the local market to import from China. However, if local manufacturers are unwilling or unable to compete with manufacturers in the wider ASEAN region, it will only lead to more instant competition in the domestic market. The main issue with Laos RTR is that the vulnerabilities and risks associated with railways are not addressed, particularly issues concerning governance, pollution, corruption, and negative social impact. In addition to that, if all transport infrastructure projects are completed, then Laos can act as a hub and connector for the regional actors and benefit from regional economics and trade relations. However, to obtain this benefit, Laos need the willingness of entrepreneurs, companies, and actors in the country to play this role.
Hello everyone, I am Ashita Binti Muhammad Hamdi. I will present the impact of BRI. For the first article, scholars have recognized BRI's implications on PDI, tourism, employment, living conditions, and education. This study found that higher education positively affects BRI for that FDI or tourism. The BRI will boost Lao PDR education, road and transportation initiative, improve local residents' access to decent education, especially in rural areas, which boost social development. Before the LCR opened, the program taught Laotian working a country's first railway project Chinese. Tourism also improved outlooks. According to the study, given these outcomes, BRI can improve Laos PDR's tourism sector. BRI's domestic and international travel marketing boosts tourism. For the second article, Laos' largest public project, the China-Laos Railway, integrates China's BRI and Laos Land Link Center Goal. From Yunnan to Laos, it covers 1,035 kilometers. Laos Land Connection Plan includes the project. China wants BRI to reach Singapore. China and the BRI connect Laos through rail. It will lower transportation costs by 30 to 50% and increase China-Laos trade to 3.7 million tons by 2030. For the third article, China will rank 31 in 2020 while Laos' economy is expanding. The development zone surpassed in country is most indicates, including starting a business, paying taxes, and foreign trade. Contract enforcement and minority investment protection are nationally legislation. The growing zone social position may differ from a country's. Thailand supplies most Laos port services. 89% of passengers kilometers and 86% of freight travel on roads. Laos roads are substandard due to funding constraints. Laos also proposed 1,700 kilometers of expressways and motorways. These roadways will link Laos to China, Thailand, and Vietnam as a China-ASEAN hub. The Vientiane-Vang Vieng Expressway is under construction. The 1.3 billion USD project will completion in 2021, 113.5 km north of the capital. The Vientiane-Vang Vieng motorway will connect the Laos capital to Puatan in Luang Namta province bordering China. Laos and Chinese companies are designing the 585 km road from Vientiane to Pak Se in southern Laos. If all transportation infrastructure projects are complete, Laos can become a regional hub and interconnector and benefit from regional economic and trade links with integrated services and transfers. However, the nation's entrepreneurs, companies, and players must prepare. These investments, including the Vietnam link, may expose Laos' weak economy to international force. To avoid bankruptcy, Laos must balance infrastructure needs with debt. In the 1990s, Laos-China relations moved from asymmetric fear to attraction. The neighboring giants' concern didn't prevent cooperation. Trade, investment, and politics improved. Laos improved security and other difficulties by strengthening connections with China and remained open to global aid and trade. From 1999, China gave Laos a significant loan to assist it weather the ASEAN financial crisis. According to Martin Stuart Ford, Laos-China relations improved. For the last article, Laos PDR joined the Mekong River Commission in 1999 to improve transboundary water governance and promote integrated water resource management. The MRC is unique among global river basin bodies since its mandate and organizational structure link regional and national development. New water resources, Laos stakeholder develop wastewater discharge license, wetlands and water resource protection, groundwater management, and river basin management are covered by the new law. It also widens the terms and circumstances of big, medium, and small-scale use and incorporates hydroelectric, environmental flows, and irrigation use. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment plans basin-level water resources to increase water consumption and infrastructure sustainability. A new national water and water resource management strategy is coordinating government and non-government agencies. Implementing legislation and strategy is very difficult.
Hello, my name is Julius and I'm going to explain and present about the conclusion. First and foremost, examine the economics and social effects on Lao people's perceived benefit attitudes towards BRI. Lao PDR could become a landlocked hub connecting Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia and Singapore. Lao PDR people perceive education, tourism and FDI as significant benefits of BRI. Awareness programming and information dissemination campaigns can be applied to help raise public awareness. The official authority and policymakers should formulate policies that support the expectation of the local community. BRI is forecasted to provide more scholarships, research and training programs to students, and education for adults and children living in remote areas. The results of the current study Laotians COVID-19 pandemic in Lao PDR have implications for follow-up research. Next is Lao PDR's perceptions and strategies toward China BRI. The BRI should not be understood one-sidedly as a powerful Chinese campaign operating in the empty space and passive frontier of a weak Laos state. On the contrary, Laos also leveraged the BRI as a tool to realize its national development ambitions and regional connectivity strategy. The initial success of China's BRI in Laos was marked by the inauguration of China-funded Laos-China Railway Project. Fears of the project becoming a debt trap are prominent, since the total cost is equivalent to nearly one-third of Laos' GDP. Next is the comparisons of business environment in development zones, a study of the China-Laos economic corridor. Say Setha is an important node of China-Lao economic corridor, as well as an example of international cooperation in the development zone. Laos is a weak infrastructure, while China is strong at infrastructure construction. This implies a direction of further cooperation between two countries. Next is Laos and the Belt and Road Initiative, an interconnector helping the Chinese needs. The BRI provides opportunities for international cooperation and connectivity, serving the Chinese needs. Although through these projects, and especially through the financial loan constructions, Beijing might influence the decision-making process of the host countries. Laos is on the verge of indebtedness due to its increasing financial dependency on China. Next is Laos' enthusiastic embrace of China's Belt and Road Initiative. Laos' embrace of the BRI has been driven principally by the imperative of elite legitimation. Concerns about financial sustainability and related challenges are acknowledged but downplayed. Public discontent is managed and controlled, while public discontent is minimized and controlled in LPRP-controlled Laos. Last but not least, improved water management is central to solving the water, energy and food trilemma in Lao PDR. Future of Lao PDR depends in large measure on stewardship of natural resources, including water. Sustainable and resilient resource use is inherently integrative. A nexus approach focused on enhanced water resource management is the best way to achieve that integration. The BRI is a significant opportunity for socio-economic development, but great care is needed.